everyone, and welcome to the Panel Presents Comic Talk. Today, we're going to talk about what we're doing in Quarantineland, the first comic shops that we've ever visited, and our top picks for our favorite characters. It's all coming up next on Comic Talk. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Comic Talk, our new show where we get together to talk about our favorite print medium. With us today, we have the Duchess of Free Comic Book Day, Ashton Greenwood.
Hey, guys.
And our special guests today are from Big City Comics. We have writer Jeff Kaufman.
Hola.
And four-time Eisner Award nominee and creator of She, Billy Tucci.
What's up? This is what I'm doing. Welcome, time, baby.
Welcome, everyone. And how's everyone doing?
Great.
I feel good. I feel like I'm part of a bigger universe, even though I don't see anybody. It's great.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty terrific too. My life really hasn't changed that much, to be honest with you. I mean, kids are home from school and all, but can't get a haircut and stuff like that. But the liquor stores are open, so and basically I just come up here and I work anyway all day. So,
You haven't tried to experiment and try to cut your own hair while you've been here? A little bit, like a little on the sides.
When Debbie says you need a haircut, that's usually when I get a haircut anyway. So
all right, because I noticed his brows look pretty good over here. I was like, well, that seems a little too clean. Look at him. See? I'm calling him out. That is not 4 weeks in quarantine.
Yeah, I haven't got a haircut. I had a haircut before, but like a few weeks before. But
Okay, you look a little too good. I think somebody's been skipping quarantine. All right. I want to put like a camera outside his house and just like bust him when he's like sneaking out.
Right.
All right. Before we get into the show, I want to ask both Jeff and Billy about their creative processes. So where do you find inspiration for the characters that you work on? Let's start with you, Jeff.
I normally, it just comes to me. I think of really insane things to begin with. I'm always, I used to be a criminal defense attorney. So seeing the nonsense in the world is pretty easy for me. If I can convince 6 people to lie to themselves, I can convince my readers.
There you go. And what about you, Billy? Where do you find inspiration for the characters that you work on?
I'm a real research fanatic, so I just love reading. I'm always reading, and just I love historical fiction, and I love alternative universe or alternative endings. That's why I love like films like not Pulp Fiction, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I just love that alternative thing, and I get a lot of inspiration from that. From just history, and I'm like, oh, well, what if this happened? So that's pretty much it. It's reading a lot of. I read a lot of history, and I just like to take things from that time periods and all. And good crime novel is good too once in a while.
Nice. Always good to find inspiration around us everywhere.
Yeah.
And I want to transition into one other topic really quickly before we jump into our different segments. We've heard the news that San Diego Comic-Con is being canceled this year. Obviously, a lot of creators use the convention circuit to put their work out there in front of fresh eyes as well as returning fans. And so with more and more conventions either being canceled or postponed, can you speak a little on what comic fans can do to support the artists and writers and even the comic book shops out there right now?
Well, we all have websites. I mean, we all go on. Billy and I are active on social media. Billy's a lot better than me. He's a lot better looking than I am. So he gets a lot more likes. But the hard part is these conventions are big. Like I always look at San Diego as my premiere. I premiere all my new books in San Diego because I do a couple graphic novels a year or a couple miniseries a year. And that's where I get excited. I go, okay, it's a big build. It's the first people who go. It's the people every year who get my books first. And when they take that away from you, they're not only taking that away from you, but most of us, our friendships that we have with people in this industry, we don't live in the same city or state. So that's the only time we get to see each other, maybe every 6 months or once a year. Like Billy, I got to see, maybe if I'm lucky to see Bill, every three times a year if we're lucky?
Yeah, maybe 3-4 times a year. And you think about it, at that rate, we're probably only going to see each other for maybe 20 more times for the rest of our lives. How about that for a downer?
Well, there's a trick. There's a trick. Well, no, not really. If we got to make sure Josh is there so we get free meat. So we have these great steak dinners with Josh.
One of the worst things missing is the great Geppi steak dinner that they take us out. And it's just great conversation and good times and good company. And
good drinking, even though the drinking stops at 1 o'clock. You can buy weed for 24/7, but you can't get alcohol after 1. I don't understand this California rule, but I guess that's the way it works.
See, a funny thing is that I've never even tried pot ever, never once. And my wife either. I remember when I met her, and I'm like, we're
all leaning in on that one. Really?
No, I don't care what anybody does, but I just never tried it. I've never tried it.
Never tried it.
I'm not a reefer addict.
You're from the reefer addict. Okay, now we know.
God.
Okay, there you go.
Doing the chiba and all that stuff.
Dazed and confused down there. Doesn't know what he's talking. Okay, we're good.
No, I don't take pot. I'm sorry.
I don't take the pot. I avoid the pot.
I don't take the pot. Exactly. I don't take the reefer, the fat spliff, the blunt.
What is this?
I think I lost control of it.
Whatever you guys, the reefer madness that creeps in on you
Yes.
creative types.
I'd be afraid to see Billy like smoked up. He'd be going, you know what? There's a lot of people I'd like to kill.
Well, I don't know. Here's a funny story. My very first serious girlfriend, when I was 18 years old, and we're driving in my car, and I remember she's just looking at me, and she's like, you'd be so cool if you just smoked pot.
I think that's offensive.
I know.
Not a compliment. Not a compliment.
So again, I just like, that's my thing. That's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to do that. So I drink. Well, I drink very well.
Yes, he does. He drinks good though. He doesn't drink he drinks like scotch. He drinks like the high end stuff.
Yeah, I'm not. Life's too short not to drink.
Me, if it came in a glass, I'm like, okay, at least it came in a glass.
Well, I have to have my Quarantini, which is my emergency, some vodka, some seltzer, and that's how I start off. And then I go to scotch.
I thought we would sell out of alcohol, but it was toilet paper. Out of all the things.
I know.
I'm like, you could get as much alcohol as you want, but it's a TP that we're running for.
That's right. Well, I don't know if you guys know that Jeff and I were both in the Army. We were both paratroopers. And do you remember the MRE toilet paper? How to make a toilet paper last real long? One piece of toilet paper?
Yeah, not go. That's how you make it last real long. You don't go.
Yeah, don't clutch.
Well, yeah.
And when you're stuck in the woods with 30 guys, not going is sometimes the option.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, I was a.
Oh God, we're getting some great comments here, and we're getting some great comments from viewers right now. We got Billy freaking Tucci, awesome from
look at that.
From Jam Sessions. Hello, Billy is one of my all-time faves. I have a signed Creed #1, and I still have my run of She.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, we got new She. I'm finishing up the Return of the Warrior book. We just put together all the covers with the logos. We have a new an Indiegogo and Kickstarter that's live now, and the Indiegogo's in demand. We'll be ending it in a few weeks. It's called She Return of the Warrior, and it's my character, which was created 25 years ago, and the new story is literally 25 years removed from the very first series. And Anna Ishikawa, now my character, is now in her mid 40s. She's a single mother raising her teenage daughter, and her warrior days are far behind her, and then it all comes back. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of like a comic character grows up, if you will.
Are you giving me any credit for the storyline since we were in a pool in Philadelphia discussing this? Do you remember that? We actually got booted out of the pool because Billy said we can drink alcohol in the pool, and they said no, you can't. So we got kicked.
Seems to be the troublemaker, right?
Wizard Philadelphia. My father, when my father gave me my first beer at Wizard Philadelphia, and I got kicked out of the pool. Well, yeah, that's great.
Well, Billy gave us a great way to. Oh wait, hold on. There's a comment. Josh, Jeff is right. Billy is prettier.
He is a handsome man. That's what can I tell you.
Well,
Billy was so flat. My God, look at it. I look like a
Would it be the craziest thing if you were like Milli Vanilli and you didn't do any of this stuff, and there was like this 350-pound brute who did responsible for all the writing and all the drawing, and Billy just takes credit from the Milli Vanilli of comic books? It'd be great. It's not me, it's Chucky over here.
Well, I wanted to do an experiment like that with Debbie, my wife's cousin's beautiful. She's this beautiful woman who is and she was young at the time. She was probably 21 or something, and she runs a marketing firm in New York City and everything like that. And I'm like, what we should do is we should try to make you a comic book star, and I'll draw it, and I'll write it, and we'll say it's you. And she's like, I'll do that. And then we were going to see if we could fool the whole industry and pretty much pull off a Milli Vanilli. And I never did it.
You blew it. We could have made a ridiculous amount of money on Kickstarter.
Oh.
That'd be great.
And she'd have been like, yeah, and because how are you going to know unless someone's at a convention and asks you to draw a sketch, you know? And a lot of people don't do people don't do sketches anyway. But here's this hot new artist, you know, in New York City and named Janine, and she would go to to show her portfolio to the editors at Marvel and DC and start getting a whole bunch of work. Kind of fun, but
all right.
But
Billy already got us kind of started. I got to move us on to the next session.
Wait,
you already got us started.
Yeah, we're 12 minutes in. We're burning the daylight here.
We totally got a subject. Josh should have known.
We got a budget. Josh can't afford the film.
Billy Vanilli, nice. You can always call me that.
All right. Now let's start moving on to what our guests are reading, podcasting, watching, or creating. It's time for What Are You Doing? So we want to ask each of our guests, what are you doing? We want to know what you're reading, watching, podcasting, creating, etc. to pass the time in Quarantineland. And to those watching, let us know in the comments what you're doing right now by using the hashtag, what are you doing? So let's go ahead and start with Ashton. What are you up to?
So, I mean, if you're somebody that like watches our previous content on a consistent basis, you probably know what I'm going to say, and you're probably sick of me talking about it at this point, but I'm reading Dune. I'm still reading Dune. I've been reading Dune for like a month, probably more than that now. But we're coming close to the end. Paul is learning to ride the worms, and his sister's getting ready to go on her murderous turn as St. Alia of the Knife. So that's where we are, and that's what I've been doing. It is a thick book, so it has taken quite a bit of time.
So you don't have the problem Billy has with not trying marijuana then?
Is the marrow?
I'm getting through one page a day. It's taking forever.
Is the marijuana in Dune?
But Pizza Hut still delivers. It's great.
Is that like H&R puffin stuff type of thing?
What about you, Billy? What are you up to right now?
Well, you're just working, but I just I'm reading my great friend Thomas Lennon. His new book. It's a Irish young adult novel, but there's a lot of it that only adults will get. And it's Ronan Boyle, Swamp of Certain Death. It's the second of his Ronan Boyle series, and it's a novelization that came out last month, and it's amazing. It's so much fun. So I'm reading that, and I'm actually comic book wise, I'm going back in time to this amazing book by Trina Robbins from IDW, and it's Miss Fury. The Sensational Sundays from 1941 to 44. And Miss Fury actually is the first female comic book character, or the first comic book character created by a woman that saw publication. And if you look at it, you could see the influence on Catwoman. She is the original Catwoman, and it debuted 6 months before Wonder Woman, and it ran from 1941 to 1952, I think. So it's amazing. June Tart Mills, an amazing, amazing creator. And it's something I highly recommend to everyone, and I'll get to about what I'm doing next, and it has a lot to do with this. So, and that's a lot. They're two big books too, Ashton.
Yeah, for real. I'm a slow reader. Okay, leave me alone.
Really? No, I'm with you.
What about you, Jeff?
Oh God, I'm guilty of a lot of bad things. What I do before bed. No, I mean, but I've been crushing through the Supernatural series again. The show, I've watched it a bunch of times. I'm guilty on that one. And the Korean dramas are killing me. I don't know what it is, but I seem to be addicted to them because they all are really like these good-looking people with great hair. And I don't, and it'll kill me to see anything with subtitles, but I can watch those. I just all day long I can watch those things, and I burn through. They're like 20-minute episodes, and they basically every episode has the first stuff from the last episode for the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes. So you get like 10 minutes of new content. But it's always, and I feel a little racist because I know I've seen the actors before, but I don't recognize them as well. And I think it's like, how you can pick people up in a lineup. But the Korean drama stuff is fantastic. I'm hooked to that.
Have you guys seen Pandemic? I mean, not Pandemic.
I'm living it.
Kingdom? I know. The Kingdom. Have you guys seen The Kingdom?
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh,
on
no.
Gosh, right?
It's like a historical, fiction about zombies, basically in like, old world Korea.
Yeah, like,
and it's just
cool.
yes,
it is unbelievable. Ashton, you got to watch it. It's unbelievable. It's
Okay.
brilliant, and it's dubbed. But the dubbing doesn't bother you. Have you seen that,
Right.
Jeff?
No, but I can honestly see. Watch it. I don't need to dub that. It's great. I think zombie works in everything. What's going on? The slow guy gets me. I don't. Are they fast or slow? Do they actually
fast.
have, they're fast zombies?
Fast zombies
Okay.
are great. I love fast zombies. Oh, you don't like fast zombies, Mia?
no, I mean, because I can't outrun them. So
Well, you know
Well, it depends who's in front of you.
Outrun like the three of us.
I mean, if you got Billy and I, you're definitely not the slowest gazelle, so you're going to get away. I mean, Ashton, who knows? I didn't get through the first page and I got eaten first. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. Time out.
I'm not picking on Ashton. I just
You are. It's okay.
no. I'm actually a fast reader. I feel guilty. I read like The Stand in like 2 days, and it was like 1,300 pages because I get addicted. I burn through things. I can't put it down. And if a book took me a month, I just be like, I don't know. Is it good at least, or are you just like going, okay? It's just I need to bring this into myself.
No, I love it. I've actually been really enjoying it, but I get waylaid by other things because I'm trying to read this, but I've also been like rereading all of the Archie comics, and I've been like watching Katie Keene, and I've been like doing all these other things. So I keep getting sidetracked.
Okay, all right. So you have an excuse for it, not just marijuana. It's good.
Right.
The pot, Billy. That's the pot.
Yeah.
The reefer.
Yes, taking the pot.
Okay, taking the pot.
all
Sorry.
right, let's see if we have any comments from the audience on what they're doing. Let's see. Josh says he's working on some new podcast ideas.
Excellent.
That's always kind of fun. Jason is saying catching up on reading, really enjoying the new Swamp Thing omnibus by Nancy A. Collins.
Old Cap. That's our friend, Old Cap. Hello, Old Cap. He's a retired captain in the Army. So that's
Very cool.
He
Very
gives
nice.
Billy all his free alcohol, so that's the thing.
That's a good friend to have.
He
Yeah,
always
that's
has a
always
bottle. He's like, Billy, look at this. It's $3,000. You'll love it.
Yeah. How can you not?
I feel guilty when I drink expensive stuff. I'm like, I don't know if I like it in here. It's like using more than like one ply of the toilet paper now. I got to give it back.
Oh,
All right, let's see. We got one more from Josh. The only
Bazinga.
book Jeff didn't read was his law book. Oh,
Oh, look at Joshy. God. He's got a degree in underwater basket weaving. It's fantastic.
that's a skill. It's a
all
skill.
right. And on that burn, let's move into our next segment first.
You always remember your first.
That intro never gets old. Okay, so anyway,
It's creepy, though. The first molestation? What are they talking about there?
I just
The
went.
first time my uncle touched me, it was great. All right, sorry.
So anyone who knows comics knows that fans really love their first issues and first appearances. So I'm trying not to cough. So for first, we talk about some of the
I didn't swear.
that
That's all
happened in
matters.
our lives. For this episode, we want to ask you, what was the first comic shop that you visited? Let us know in the comments what your first comic shop was by letting us know by using a hashtag first. I'm all messed up now. So let's start with Billy. What was the first comic shop that you visited?
Gee whiz, man. So when I'm older than you guys, so we didn't have. I would get my books at the flea markets, that they would have, and we would just go get them there. But the first comic book shop was when I was in college. It was called Manhattan Comics, and it was in New York City on 23rd Street. And I would go there, and that's where I got the Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man number 301, which was the one after Amazing Spider-Man number 300 with the famous Todd McFarlane cover. Because my friend brought in that book, number 300, and I saw, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. So I went but of course that book was like $20 at the time, and I couldn't afford $10 for number 301. So I'm sorry, for number 300. So I bought number 301. But yeah, that was it. It was. I don't even know if it's still there. It was called Manhattan Comics, New York City.
Manhattan Comics.
Manhattan Comics.
What about you,
Comics.
Jeff?
Hello.
Well, my uncle was the first. No. What I used. We won't get on that again. we had a place called Al's Newsstand, and it was actually a store, but I guess he wanted to be cute and called it Al's Newsstand. And it was like about a mile and a half from my house, so I used to walk there. And the comic books used to be on the spinning racks. And if you picked up the comic book for more than like, let's say like a minute, he would like yell at you, this isn't a library. And what was funny, it was so small that the comic book rack was right next to the porn rack. And it was like I was like 8 years old, and I didn't know. I just thought they were like weird books next to, but if you step too close to the porn rack, not for you, kid. And you come back to the the regular comic book rack, and they were about 25 cents at the time. And God, the amount of money I stole out of my mother's purse to get comic books as a kid. Oh, it's ridiculous. She still reminds me about how I was a criminal. And I said, well, now I'm a lawyer, so I could represent myself. It's great.
There you go.
There you go. What about you, Ashton?
Mine was actually Cards, Comics, and Collectibles in Reisterstown.
Oh, yeah.
Which I love that shop. It's not my local shop because it's far from me, but I actually think I like it better than my local shop just because the selection is so vast. They're so incredible, so helpful. I think the first time I went in there, I wandered in with some like extraordinarily vague question about an Archie comic, and I think it was Mark that actually helped me, and he knew what I was talking about, which was surprising, and also able to find it. And they're great there. I love it. I always leave with something. I guess that's true of any comic shop. You always leave with something, even if you didn't intend to. But yeah, that kind of cemented my first experience as them being like a hub of the community.
Nice. Very nice. It's always awesome to hear about everyone's first comic shops and what kind of got them into comics.
How did you, Mia? How did you get into it, if you don't mind me asking?
Mine, God, I was really young. It was like around that time when, Tiny Toon Adventures comic books, which is what my dad was trying to get me into. Although I was like sneaking his Elf Quest on the side. Nice. So it was just like in this little strip mall, and it was one of those little shops where they would also buy coins and like, sports cards and stuff like that. And they had the comic section in the back. So it was a combination of like that little shop and then stealing what I could from my dad's, which was good, but also not good because I remember, oh God, what was it? Is it Mouse?
Mouse? Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember I was really young and I didn't understand that at all. And then later on, like I learned about it. I was like, oh God, I should not have read that. Like I was not prepared for that one as a kid, but
yeah. And Jeff, that was 2016.
Yeah, my wife actually, my daughter got into my graphic novels, and she's like, Dad, who are these girls? And it was about 5 female contract killers. And she asked me, she goes, are these girls princesses? I said, no, they're not princesses. And I had to explain. She goes, so they kill people? I'm like, yeah. Why do you write about people who kill people? Damn it. And when you're trying to explain it to like a 6-year-old, and then she goes, how do you pronounce this book, Dada? Hooray? No, that's horror. That's horror. Oh, it was bad. So whatever I've done to people at conventions, I paid for it in spades with my daughter. So we're good. Billy. Billy's come by the booth and had to like pretend he wasn't friends with me.
Oh, I love you. It's a cop, and I come by your booth all the time.
That was, remember, we did San Diego Comic-Con, and remember when I came out with horror? And it was like a 12-foot banner with horror across the top. And everyone kept walking by, and all the women from Jersey were pissed. Yeah. I think that says whore, honey. I think that says whore.
Why does it say whore?
What does it say whore?
Whore.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a tough thing when you write, Billy writes, you posted something the other day, and I'm surprised you weren't stuck in Facebook jail when you have like a comic book breast on, you know what I'm talking about? From the book that DC stole.
Oh, Miss Fury.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's taken off of June Tarp Mills' drawing.
But there's a drawing with a girl's butt sticking out and like breasts. And I was going, you're going to Facebook jail, Billy.
No, she was so progressive. She was so fierce. June Tarp Mills and Ashton, I don't know if you're familiar with her, the woman that created Miss Fury. She was so, just fearless. So she would draw these, beautiful drawings, and it's on my Facebook page. It's actually my cover photo.
There are more 11-year-old boys sending her good mail than anybody else.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, she was beautiful.
Remember, see, it's unfair, really, because that book came out when the Sears catalog was considered risque, and I mean, if the first kid who saw a boob in a comic book, oh my God, he probably lost his mind. And his mother's like down at the White House protesting. That's how the comic book code came. My son's playing with himself to Miss Fury.
She was kind of like a fun, crazy. I mean, you just look. They fight in. It's just. We've
lost Billy to the
try to take that somewhere, Bill.
I know, no, but like
that's why I don't do podcasts or panels with this guy.
It's so brutal. Like what she drew is that she has the villainess, and her name is Erica. I should have done my research. That I didn't know we were going to go through this stuff. The villain.
We didn't know either.
Is a Nazi spy, and she's like a reluctant Nazi spy, and she gets captured by these.
Who is a reluctant Nazi spy? I didn't know I'm working for the people who are killing a lot of Jews. It's just by accident it happened. I fell into it. I was going to be a doctor, and now I'm a reluctant Nazi spy.
This is 1942. Before that, so they didn't, a lot of them didn't know about that was going on with the camps and everything.
I got married. I became a teacher. I became a Nazi spy. Those were my options. Okay. All right.
Anyway, so these mobsters catch her, and they literally brand a swastika in her forehead with a
very cool.
I gotta be straight for you. Not a great spy with a swastika built into your forehead.
And that's why she wears these bangs. And
this bangs.
She wears bangs, and they.
It's like the Superman thing. No one's gonna see it if I just wear bangs.
Mia's had bangs. She couldn't hide a swastika with a bang like that.
Now I could share my.
I got a 6-foot thing in the middle of my forehead, but I got bangs. It's okay.
She's like, now what do I do? I don't know if Johnny wants to throw. If you do Miss Fury, Erica, you'll see it. With her.
It's like swastika and Miss Fury, and there you go.
Yeah. So she's the Baroness. You know what? This is just going down the wrong way, ain't it? Anyway, so she's the Baroness. She wears these bangs. She has these bangs here, and the reason why she has bangs right there is because she's got a swastika branded into her forehead. It's just hardcore, man. It's awesome. It's unbelievable.
That's why the comic book came up. That's how it all happened.
Yeah, I'm sure that Marson was familiar with her work. I'll tell you that. It's cool, man. It's really cool.
Are you getting a cut, Billy? Are you getting a cut? You getting 5% on the top of this one?
No, I'm bringing.
I got Josh's podcast. I'll make about $60 today. It's great.
That's my next project, so that's why.
I know. I saw the images. It's
so sorry. I apologize. I apologize. Ash.
That's all right.
No.
All right. Let's
have Pop and I all the time.
Let's see what some of the people in the comments are up to. What their firsts were. First, from Jason, the comic book corner in Tallahassee, Florida. It's been closed over 20 years.
Well, Jason left to Alabama. They can't afford to stay open anymore. Yeah. Jason probably blows about $200 a week. I mean, that's a Lexus payment.
The link. So if Johnny's in the thing, if you see the link, Jason Odom posted the link in the chat, and you can just grab that image and pop it in. If people care to see Erica Von Kampf with a swastika on the forehead. So I apologize, Mia.
That's all right. I think we had another comment in the. Let's see, Anton. First comic books that I got at my candy store right near my house. Ooh. Oh, candy stores. That's awesome.
Oh, come on. Look at that foreign picture was awesome. In the middle, I don't know which one was who.
What is that?
He's got the two Asian, two girls right next to him cosplaying. It's like, oh God, look at you. Can I take your picture? Sure.
All right. Now let's move on to our last segment, guys. Top picks. All right. For this round of top picks, we want to ask you, what are your top comic book characters? You can let us know in the comments by using hashtag top picks. Let's start with Billy. Who is your favorite of favorites? And do you have any storylines that are also your favorites for those characters?
Ooh, my favorite comic character of all time is the Rocketeer. And I look at the storylines, Dave Stevens' original storylines that came out in 1980, 81. I think it was Pacific Comics was the first person to publish. Dave Stevens was Pacific, I think. And just unbelievable. If you guys know Dave Stevens, just a genius who created the Rocketeer. That really is my all-time favorite comic. I also love Daredevil, though. The Frank Miller stuff, the David Michelini stuff with Born Again series by Frank and David by Daredevil, Marvel back in in the early 80s. That's another one. Unbelievable, timeless, good stuff, great stuff. So
What about you, Ashton? Who's your favorite comic book character?
So my favorite of all time is Jughead Jones, of course. And I like him for a number of reasons. And I think probably my top reason is he is a no questions asked type friend, especially when it comes to Archie. Because Archie's whole thing is he's like wildly dysfunctional and like always in some sort of weird predicament and can't pick between Betty and Veronica and so on and so on. And Jughead is always there to help him, like no questions asked, will do whatever he has to. And I also think Jughead is like relatable, and especially something Troy had said to me one time. Like, I liked Jughead when I was little because he doesn't like girls and he wants to eat, which is true. Like, I mean, so I think he's relatable in that way, but also I think the Jughead series that Chip Zdarsky did and Erica Henderson did the art, I thought that was a really good take on Jughead because it took away a lot of his apathy that is like traditionally associated with him and kind of made him a more dynamic character and rounded out kind of his set of traits. So I like that take on it. I lost my train of thought there. But yeah, Jughead, of course.
Ashton, have you read Frank Thierry's Jughead the Hunger?
Yes, I have.
Right? Unbelievable. I wish that they put that storyline into Riverdale. Imagine that. I mean, Riverdale could pull it off too.
They could, because it's already off the rails enough that it would make perfect sense. And then you could kind of do like Vamp Veronica and bring the whole Archie storyline together.
Yeah.
Right?
How cool would that be?
I would love that.
Yeah, it's a great series because I did a couple of covers for him. So not for the Jughead the Hunger, but for Archie. And they just like, yeah, read some of these Archie books. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Great. Frank Thierry, Jughead the Hunger. You guys got to pick it up.
Yes, I co-sign that.
On things like that. Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Or your local comic shops when they open up, obviously.
I mean, Jughead's the kind of guy I guess would help you bury the body. I like that. Like if Billy called me up, he goes, Kaufman, I had a problem. Frank Thierry kind of opened a lip and I kind of hit him with a shovel. So, okay, all right, I'll be by with a car. I'll have a shovel or a boat at the marina. That's all that matters. You're in business. Okay.
All right. What about you, Jeff? What is your favorite character of all time?
I've always been a Spider-Man guy, but if I had a chance to write any character ever, it would have to be Jason Todd, Red Hood. He's probably the most honest character in comic books because he understands. He's like, listen, you have to kill these people. There's no option. You put them in jail, they kill people. They've got to be taken off the planet, and I love that character. But one of my favorite books was done by Ed Brubaker, who did, I believe it was Midnight Sun, Winter Soldier, and it was such a fantastic book. It really dealt with Bucky in such a strong way. And Namor, they never show Namor right. They always show him as this real jerk and everything else. But Namor was talking about Toro, that he was teammates with during the Invaders a long time ago. And it was amazing to see him react in the way I actually felt Namor. And that's so difficult for a character like that. So I think Brubaker's Namor was one of my favorites. And what was that? The Shadow, which was done by, was redone, I believe, in the 90s. What was the writer? Was that Howard Chaykin who did
Chaykin's great. Billy? So I don't know. I didn't read it, but Chaykin's unbelievable.
It was great. I didn't read it. No, it was. He's great. Okay, didn't read it. I love when people go, I love your books. Don't read them, but they're great.
Chaykin's always a winner.
It was fantastic because I always loved the idea of the Shadow of he was the original Batman. It's amazing how DC has stolen so many characters and then felt that Shazam was a Superman ripoff. I'm really pissed about that, but let's not discuss that. I mean, think about it this way: if they ripped off Catwoman, then how dare they go after Shazam?
How dare they?
Just a thought.
How dare they?
Just a thought. Okay, I'm good.
Reefer?
I'm good. It's the reefer. It's the reefer, Billy.
Now, what about now that would come? If I may, are we out of time? Is that it?
Oh no. If you want to do something really quick, we can do something really quick.
No, I'm just saying. Like, what are you guys with this whole stoppage? Is there any books that you were looking forward to that were coming out that everything's on hold that you can't wait for it to come out that you think is going to be a big hit?
Yeah, mine. Well, that's okay. Let's talk about me now. I think there was that Batman 82 is supposedly 72 is supposed to come out. I was looking some of the metal books from DC. I was looking forward to, but I don't know. It's so weird now because you never know what you're going to get and how they're going to pull you off their storyline to do some weird long 52 page nonsense. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to your book, Bill.
Oh, thank you.
I enjoyed your Kickstarter. I'm doing what I can for you.
Thank you,
Find
brother.
the power.
appreciate
I actually own your sweatshirt, which is great.
that. Oh, thank you, brother. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
How about you?
I'm
Ashley?
fine.
Look at me taking over the show, Mia. I'm sorry.
That's all right. No, you're good.
Mia has the. You know what hair she has? Tell me which Charlie's Angels does she have? Jacqueline
The
Smith.
faucet.
Oh,
No,
God.
the Jacqueline Smith.
Yeah.
That's Jacqueline Smith hair. I was I was waiting for her to do the gun, But yeah.
There it is.
See, Bill? Bill goes, I see it now. Hold on, I put the glasses back on. I can see.
Well, I see the
All
thing
right.
popping up. How about you,
Let's see
Ashton?
from our
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
me.
I was just gonna check in with the comments and see what everyone else is got. Let's see. Galfar says mine isn't one character but a team, the original X-Force.
Solid pick.
The original.
Jason, top
Fun.
picks: Batman, Catwoman for me, but also as an army guy, how could I neglect Sergeant Rock? Start on him with Lost Battalion, but teen sensation Billy Tucci.
Ooh.
Thank you.
You were supposed to kill me in that book, Billy, and you didn't. We had a deal.
Kaufman, I think you were supposed to be in the next one. That never happened.
Yeah, I made him a priest / vampire in one of my books, and all I said was Father Tucci. I said, just kill me off in one of your books, just a bullet to the head, it'd be great. Not Bill though; he's got integrity. Okay.
All right. Well, we're coming to the close of our show. Oh wait, we got one more. Hold on. We have Spider-Man, Batman, Hellboy, and Hellboy.
Hell yeah, Hellboy.
Josh,
Hellboy.
Iron Man, Archie, Rich, She, Lady Death, and anything by Big City Comics.
Oh, look at you! Look at Josh. Just for that, I'm getting you the Dole Whip when Disney World opens up.
Are you looking forward to anything, Ashton?
So I adore Undiscovered Country from Image Comics. It's Snyder and Charles Soule, and number 5 came out like right before all of like the shops shut down in Maryland, and I just didn't get my hands on it. So now it's out in the world for me to read, and I don't have it, and I'm upset about that.
Oh, yeah. Personally, I think I'm looking forward to the new instant classic, the New Warriors, to come out with Snowflake and Safe Space. I think that's going to be fantastic.
Could you stop it, Bill? Stop it. We said we weren't going to do this. But we still love you. Oh, Mia has to go to the bathroom. Is that what you do when you do the one?
Lost her.
Yeah.
All right, Tom.
Well, we know where she is. She's just
Ghost
not
Rider's
here.
great. That I loved. I think Tex is the best.
Remember Texera drew out the book? He was fantastic.
Mark Texera's Ghost Rider is one for the ages.
Yeah.
So
I love that book. And now you never know who Ghost Rider is nowadays. You're like, oh, it's some 12-year-old. Okay,
is it a 12-year-old?
It's always a 12-year-old.
Well, maybe he could be in the new
Marvel does this all the time. Iron Man 12, this one 12, and we're not reading it, so we don't know who's buying it. I mean, somebody in Walmart picked it up. It was good.
So, Ashton, are you sorry that you?
Mia's like, I'm back.
Mia's gonna.
I had to redo my hair. I didn't want to be like the angel.
No, we were talking about cats being crazy, and I just like heard like this loud crash over there, and I don't know if you saw my little one just run out the door, and I was like, oh god. So I was like,
What's broken?
oh well, I'll just clean some stuff up later. They got on the counter.
See, that's why I have dogs. You know exactly what happened. Because if it was a dog, you don't see him back. If something's out there, he comes back. Hey, dude, you gotta hide. We gotta hide.
Yeah.
Oh, and you can always tell because they look guilty. Whereas cats are like, I didn't do anything. I don't know what you got. They're so good at blank face.
I got into your bag and I've done some terrible things today. I don't know what it's about. Reefer, Billy. It's the pot we're talking about.
It's the reefer. It's the whatever.
The reefer again. Blowing smoke rings at the cat. The cat suddenly like giving you the thumbs up.
And from Steve, we have Uncle Scrooge reigns supreme.
Oh
We
yeah.
had to get that one in there.
Steve, how are you?
You know, Steve has a gift. You know, Steve Geppi can pick up any comic book and hold it and tell you exactly how many pages it is. Test him one day. He can tell you whether it's 22 and if one's missing, he can feel it that the page is missing. I'm not kidding. It's a gift.
I could be convinced of that.
It didn't pass. It didn't pass down to Josh. He can just count, the hats, but everyone else, the fingers.
All right, guys. Well, we're coming to the close of our show, but before we end, let's go around and do some plugs. So, Jeff, Ashton, Billy, is there anything that you want to plug, and where can people find you online? We'll start with Jeff.
Well, I'm working on 2 series right now. I'm working on volume 2 of Jolly Jane with my partner Russ Rollins, and I'm also working on a cooler book called not a cooler book, but a different book about a guy on a motorcycle called The Road King. And you can get all my books at bigcitycomics.com, or you can go to the Facebook page and take a look. I always post nonsense, so me and Bill do jabs at each other, so it's a lot of fun. So keep buying our books.
What about you, Ashton?
So you can find me online, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Free Comic Book Day. And just another reminder, Free Comic Book Day is happening this year. It is postponed, but it will be happening. We want to give you those books. So stay tuned on those social media accounts and also on the official Free Comic Book Day website when we announce our new date.
And Billy.
Yeah, I got a couple of things, but Ashton, with that, I find that so interesting. I'm so happy that it is coming back. And I don't know if you could put us all together, but I have a YouTube channel called Crowdfunding Comics, and we just talk about all things comics. That's just the name of it. But Ashton, I'd love, and you too, Mia, if you guys are on, we could cross promote our shows. But I'd love to have you on. I think you would be a great show to talk about Free Comic Book Day, maybe even when Free Comic Book Day would have been, in a few weeks, you know what I mean? And we just talk about what's the future, for Free Comic Book Day. Are we going to have an ad hoc one? Is the industry itself just going to make one sort of, like a celebration of the shops reopening? But I'd love to have you on, with my partner, Niall Scala and I, and I'll get in touch with you guys after the show. And,
let's talk about that.
With you and all the Animia stuff and everything. It'd be great.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
So thank you. And I have a She Return of the Warrior. We're in demand right now on Indiegogo. It's again the Return of She. We're going to be ending it in a few weeks as we're putting the book together. And you can find that on Indiegogo. If you do Indiegogo, Billy Tucci, She Return of the Warrior, you'll find it. And then next month on May 21st, Maria Laura Sanapo and myself will be launching Miss Fury, the Joy Division. And that is the return of Miss Fury, who I've been talking up. And it slides right into the continuity of Miss Fury. It takes place in the summer of 1944. And all the original characters being brought back. It's a true love letter to Miss Fury. We got the endorsement of June Tarp Mills' family. And it's going to be put through Dynamite Entertainment. So we hope you guys would check that out too. So
exciting. Well, that about does it for Comic Talk. I want to thank all of our guests for joining us. We'll be doing this every Friday at 4 p.m., so be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you can get notified whenever we go live. Also, tune in on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 4 p.m. for Previews Game Night, where we all get together and play some games where you can join the audience. And every Wednesday is Previews World Weekly, also at 4 p.m. And you can find all these shows by checking out Previews World on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And until next time, comic book characters are a dime a dozen, but comic fans are priceless. Thank you all, and we'll see you next time.